Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Chris here, founder of Rooted Music. Guys, I'm thrilled that you're taking this next step with us and just getting a glimpse of what one of our courses is like. We have helped thousands of people just like yourself learn to play the worship music that they love, and we want to help you do the same thing. We're here for feedback, for encouragement, for insight, for tips and tricks. We want to help you every single step of the way. You're going to see that in this video, so check it out.
Welcome to week 5. I'm so excited to get back into the G shapes with you. Today, we're gonna go into our first song. It's gonna be really great. So recapping from last week, 80 BPM of the G shape scale. Let's go forward and backwards. Let's get straight at that, and then we'll move on to our new material today. So let's go G, A minor 7, G over B, C add 9, D, E minor 7, D over F sharp, and back to G. All 4 beats. 1 and 2 and ready. Go. Now let's go backwards. 1 and 2 and ready. Go. Awesome. So that's G shapes forward and backwards. Keep on working at that every week. Strengthen your fingers, know where you're going. It's just gonna help you with any song that you wanna learn. So next is Nashville Numbers. What's exciting about these is, just like we mentioned in previous weeks about a key, and when you're in any key, like the major key, when you're doing a major scale, remember we talked about 2 holes and a half step, 3 holes and a half step? So that's what makes Nashville Numbers work. When we're playing in G major or an A major, E major, all these keys, we're using a principle called the Nashville Numbers to make sense of what we're playing. So if we're playing the same song in a different key, we want to use Nashville Numbers to be able to play it in any key. What's great about Nashville Numbers is that it's 7 numbers. Typically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we're talking just about the scale. And then when we get into chords, there's a few symbols and some dashes and stuff like that, but it's not really that hard. So when we're going to G major, the numbers we're using are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, over and over again in any octave. Now when we're playing the chords, the first chord, the 4th chord, and the 5th chord, they're major chords when you're in the major key. For the 2nd and the 3rd and the 6th chord, they're minor chords when you're in the major key. So let me show you what I mean. So first we learned G and C and D and E minor when we learned our G shapes at first. Now we know the whole entire key. And so if we went through in order, 1, 4, and 5 are major, 2, 3, and 6 are minor. Let's put that into practice here. So if G is the first chord, that means it's major. Okay, 2, 3, and 6 are minor. That means A minor is minor. That's the 2. And then 3, remember we learned G over B, but the traditional form of this chord is B minor. The 3 is minor as well. C is the next chord, which is 4. That's major. Then we have 5, which is major. Then 6 is minor. And then D over F sharp is a 5 chord. We don't have to go into all the specifics of it. It's a 5 chord and it's inverted. I'll also show you that with a G over B like we learned. A lot of times in modern music, people are using the 5 over 7 is what this is called. So it is a D chord with an F sharp, the 7 in the bass. Don't worry about it. This is the 5 over 7. So we have 1, 4, and 5 are major, 2, 3, and 6 are minor. What's amazing about Nashville Numbers is when you think about the scale and when you think about the chords, they just make so much sense with each other. So we've gone through the key of G major a lot so far. That's the one key that we've gone through a ton. And so when we're going through G major, the first note in G major, when we're playing our scale, is G, right? And then the first chord in the key of G major is G, right? So when we're talking about Nashville Numbers, whether we're talking about the scale or we're talking about the chords in the key, they correspond with one another, just like we just mentioned with G and G major. So not only is G the 1 and G major is the 1, but A is the 2 and A minor is the 2 minor. B is the 3 and B minor is the 3 minor. C is the 4, and C add 9 is the 4. D is the 5, and D is the 5. E is the 6, and E minor is the 6. F sharp is the 7, and D over F sharp is the 5 over 7. So if we have a 1, 2, 4 progression, that would mean, what's the first chord in the key of G? G, right? So we have 1, 2 is A minor 7, and then 4 is, think about it, G, A minor 7, G over B, C, right? So go up the scale when you're learning these Nashville numbers. You want to go from 1.
Guys, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video here today. I hope it gave you some really good insight into what one of our courses with us looks like. We've helped thousands of people just like you learn to play their favorite worship music and learn to do it well with constant encouragement, feedback, and just a commitment to each student to help them learn to play worship music. And we want to do the same thing with you. So click the link below to get started with us today.